7 days, and we are starting with October 3rd and going until the 9th. Hard to believe that we're already entering this month of October, and it's beautiful here. I hope it's beautiful wherever you are as well. As usual, take what resonates with you, leave the rest behind, and it's always my intention that this gives you some sense of unity, feeling like you're not alone, and maybe a heads up on how you can use the energies that might be present this week to your best possible use. So we have a couple of majors this week, we have a couple of cups, and we have a couple of wands. So to me, that already is saying there is a lot of energy with working in collaboration with others, maybe in particular with one other person. So our first card for the week is the Hermit, and I am using the Golden Tarot. This is a brand new deck for me. My old one was getting worn out, so this one just got opened up today. So here is our lovely hermit with his deer, and I've seen a lot of those lately, and his little kitty cat there. So an energy of going inward to contemplate one's own light, to look at your inner resources and the inner wise person. What is inside there that is sustaining, that keeps you going in a helpful, positive way, because it's also associated with Virgo. So it's a number 9, the 9th of the majors. And, you know, we've passed that Virgo season. We're in Libra season now. But I feel like these energies of self-care, respect for the self is part of this card for me too. Those energies are still very much present with us right now. So that was Monday. For Tuesday, we have the 8 of Cups. And so, you know, when you're talking about cups, it's emotional or psychic, intuitive kinds of energies. And you see the person behind, you know, the 8 chalices here, has a little bag, luminary in the sky. I'm not totally sure if that's the sun or the moon, but something is over the shoulder of this being, walking away from something. So it could be letting something go. Eights follow, of course, sevens, and sevens so often for me are about that interchange, that preparing to do something, knowing that you are receiving messages from your guides, from the universe, that you need to let something go, to change your perspective on it. One interpretation of this card is leaving the mundane behind for a more spiritual journey. My feeling is that is a really positive, good way to use this energy on Tuesday. Is there something that you can let go of? And it might just even be like an emotion, an attitude, a thought that, you know, you would be better off without. So something to consider for that day. When we get to Wednesday, we have the lovely 2 of Cups. And I remember this came up on the last week or two as well. You know, in the Thoth deck, the Aleister Crowley deck, this was referred to as love. It very much fits. You generally see a couple, often they're sharing a chalice or drinking from one another's chalices. Here they're looking straight forward at us. So back to that pairing again. What is it that you might collaborate with someone about this week? What communication could you have? You know, Mercury stations direct today, and so we're getting out of the Mercury retrograde. We always have the shadow period. But things should start to get a little bit easier in the realm of communication, getting those messages out, technical issues, car issues, things like that. Should get better this week, and then hopefully you can find this place of wonderful communication, sharing, collaboration. with your people. When we get to Thursday, we get the second major of the week, and this one is death. And I really started looking at this card that came up earlier in the week for me, and I had not noticed the attitude, I think, of these sort of helpers, perhaps angels, preparing this person for transition, for rest. Death is not death in the tarot. In the majors, it occurs as card number 13. So, it goes up to 21. There's lots more after this. So it is about changing, shedding the old skin. Our next zodiac sign for the year will be Scorpio, and this card is associated with that. What do we let go of? What do we peel away? To find our truer selves, to get more authentic and be more rooted in who we truly are. So Thursday is going to be a great day for that. Again, letting stuff go that you don't need anymore. And then when we get to Friday, we have the Three of Wands. So you have a person whose back is to the viewer of the card. Often this is seen as someone waiting for her ship to come in. And you may not be able to tell, but there is a harbor here. I'll bring it a little closer. And definitely a ship out there. So that fits. To me, it's also creativity. Threes are about creativity. And since it's a wands, it's about our instinctual wisdom. What do we feel? That's that hair standing up on the back of the neck, or just instantly knowing what you need to do, not even thinking of it, but just feeling it, knowing it. The instinct is there. And then, it's great for being an artist too. What are your muses saying? What's the passion coming through here? It can be a very happy, positive, creative energy for our Friday. I shuffled and started to lay the cards out earlier, and then I realized that I had left the King of Wands on my table. So I was like, oh, can't have that. So I reshuffled, reprayed, and so forth. And sure enough, he made an appearance. So I thought he definitely did not want to be left out today. So this is the card for next Saturday, which would be October 8th. And he is known for his great passion. Again, that wand energy, very creative, very passionate. Not necessarily known for his patience. That would be more the the King of Pentacles, even the King of Cups. But this one has less patience, but lots of energy, lots of good instinct to share with the world. So next Saturday might be a wonderful day for you to really get into a project and feel like you have some mastery, some control over that, especially if it's creative, something artistic. Also could be, good communication, as long as, there is the pause to listen to what others have to say. Then when we get to next Sunday, we have really, I think, the only particularly challenging card for the week. And this also fits in with our twos, because this is our second 8. And, on Tuesday, we have that 8 of Cups. And by the time we get to Sunday, we get the 8 of Swords. And this one can freak people out a little bit. Here you see the woman. She's blindfolded. She's essentially not quite in a circle, but she has the swords behind her, swords in front of her. The key thing about this card is to remember that that feeling of restriction is incredibly mental. It's real. I'm not saying it isn't real. If it's there and we know it, then it means we need to acknowledge that and work with that. But how do we do it to ourselves? How do we take a perspective that keeps us entrapped? All of the eights are under the auspices of the major eight, which is strength. So, how do we take our mental strength and get ourselves out of any entrapment, any thoughts that keep us limited? Let's see, other eights. Of course, we have the cups already this week. And then the Eight of Wands is a wonderful, expressive, passionate, perhaps I call it the Court and Spark card. And then the Eight of Discs is a kind of mastery. So we can move out of the more challenging aspects of the eight energy and into those more hopeful and I think useful ones for us. So the dominant energy again is this pairing, the two majors, the Hermit and Death, the two eights, the two wands, the two cups. So lots of that kind of balancing. And you know, it could just pertain also to your own divine masculine and feminine energies. How are you keeping those in balance as well? Are your work balance versus your work-life balance is what I mean to say. Are you overworking? Are you having workaholic tendencies? Are you feeling so overwhelmed by life stuff that burying yourself in work seems like the thing to do? Or the opposite, you're so overwhelmed with work that you bury yourself in other life things that you need to do, or perhaps distractions. Next weekend, Pluto goes direct also. So that'll be an interesting change and a chance for us to review what work we've done with ourselves. How have we transformed? How have we taken issues in our lives that are, you know, deep ones? Pluto's deep, and worked with them, worked with those shadows and tried to transform them and get ourselves into a literally lighter place as we move into, you know, here at least in the Northern Hemisphere, into our darker months of the year. So again, I really hope that gives you some guidance, gives you some sense of community and a little bit of a roadmap for the week. I also drew another crystal angel card for us this week too. And right along with this, the theme of self-care, we got kyanite. And they're showing a blue kyanite, and I just read in there that kyanite is actually the Greek word for blue, so it's a little bit redundant, but there are different forms of kyanite. And the encouragement here is to make time for self-care, that taking care of yourself is essential right now. And I think we suffer from that mythology that giving ourselves away to everyone else is a good thing, that you are a better person if you give away your energy, your time, your resources to others. Obviously, you know, we have people we are responsible for, responsible to, we have jobs, we have obligations, and so forth. At the same time, back to that balance, can we bring self-care in there? It is essential. The more that we are grounded and caring for ourselves, the better we are able to interact with others and be a good role model for them, and to embody trust, faith, hope, good qualities like that. So hope that helps as well, and let me know how your week is. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your support. If you are looking for a personal reading, please email me at tarotwithtonja@gmail.com. My website's listed in the description box below where you can find more, and the email is listed there as well if you didn't catch that. So take care, dear beloved people. I will see you again next weekend.